then. Well, thank you everyone for watching or listening. Liam Hartley back with you today with another episode of Presenting Champions for the Simply Inspired podcast. And today I'm back with another fantastic guest. Really excited to talk with this man, Steffan Hughes, who is a boxer, amateur, professional, and unlicensed. He's done it all. This man has achieved a lot in his career so far as an amateur. He had 23 and 7, won the Welsh schoolboy title, made it to the semi-finals in the ABAs, the Gaelic Games. He won a gold medal, the handicap gold medal for Denmark. He's won titles on the unlicensed scene, including the EBF Northwest, the IPA Intercontinental, the ZT light heavyweight title, and challenge for the UKBC as well. As I mentioned, had a pro career, 16 professional fights there, I believe. So we're going to be talking about everything related to boxing, but we're going to be going a little bit deeper today and talking about faith as well, and spirituality, belief in God and Jesus, how faith can help people. Some good topics like that, because Stefan does a lot of work putting this type of positivity out there to his following. So stay tuned, everybody. Going to be a very exciting talk. And Champ, thank you very much for coming on the show, brother. It's really great to have you here. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Much appreciated.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Like I say, I've seen a lot of your fights. It's great to be talking with you, fellow Welshman as well, just to get that in there. So that makes it
Yeah.
even better. So obviously across the different disciplines, or I mean, it's all boxing, but across amateur, professional, and unlicensed, semi-pro, whatever you want to call it, you've won a lot of things. You've had some great moments. You've had some very proud moments. And when I speak to people who've achieved as much as you have, even though you're humble about it, the way I usually break it down is by talking about people's favorite fights. And I know it's a big question to start things off, but if you look back on your career now across amateur, across professional, across unlicensed, semi-pro, obviously
hmm
there's we'll talk about that as well. But just looking back for a moment, which ones are some of your favorites or some of your proudest moments? Let's kick things off with a bang with that one, please, champ. Thank you.
Okay, then. So I would say one of my proudest moments, I would say it's when I won the Gaelic Games gold medal in Scotland. Yeah, I was representing Wales. It was like a Four Nations sort of championship. There was Wales, Ireland, Scotland, and there was like another sort of like Breton, yeah, like another part of the Celtic country, Brittany, yeah. And yeah, I went there like, I wasn't supposed to win. I was fighting against really, really good boxers, from Scotland and from Ireland. And I would say my first fight there in the semi-finals, I fought against a Scottish guy, and oh gosh, he literally came at me, like a steamroller. He literally came at me, throwing guns blazing, sort of thing. And I managed to knock him out in the first round. Yeah, I caught him with a cracking left hook that the referee got him all over the place. And the referee, just stopped the fight because literally as soon as I caught him, he was literally all over the place. Yeah, and oh yeah, I mean, I jumped on the chance, yeah, and to finish him off. And then the referee stopped the fight. Yeah, that was. I would say that fight was one of my proudest moments. Yeah, because again, when I was in the Welsh team, I was the only one from North Wales there because most of the guys they were from South Wales, really good boxers. You had the likes of Jamie Arthur, Tony Docherty. There was good boxers there. Yeah, and when I won that fight, it was really good. And then obviously in the finals, I fought against a really good Irish champion, and I just managed, I managed to beat him on points. Yeah, and I'll never forget it. Yeah, coming home, and there was balloons outside my parents' house, and it was a big thing, yeah, because not a nobody from my village or from where I was from had to accomplish something like that. And yeah, it was great, a really great moment. My dad was there, my twin brother was there, and my dad's mates and my best mates as well. And yeah, I'll remember that for the rest of my life. Yeah, that was a fantastic episode in my life. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I love asking that question because you can never tell with people which one
Yeah.
is back. It's not always the one you expect. So I love that. Now, obviously, we're talking about your amateurs and some of those early days. I'd like to go back a little bit further actually and just talk about your inspiration for starting boxing. Maybe if there was a particular person that inspired you, or what lit that fire within you to want to do this in the very beginning, basically.
So what happened was, obviously, I started boxing when I was 8 years old. Yeah, and my father at the time, he was studying. I think he was studying Masters of Philosophy or something in university. And he came home once, and he bought just a pair of boxing gloves, for myself and my twin brother. And as dads think, he just thought, oh, I'll buy these gloves, and they'll be bought within a couple of days or something like that. Yeah, and I don't know. Once we had them gloves, oh gosh, me and my brother, we were like fighting with each other. My dad was had the gloves on as well. We were like sparring with him and stuff like that. But then I was just hooked. Yeah, I was pestering my dad. I was constantly pestering. Oh, come on, Dad. I want to go to a boxing club, please. And then eventually, Dad caved in, and he found a boxing club in Denby that was ran, sorry, by a guy called Sparrow Harrison and Dennis and John Noble as well. Good coaches there were, and the first time I went there, it was a proper like old school spit and sawdust kind of a gym, yeah. And yeah, I'll never forget it. Yeah, it was great. I went there, I was so scared and nervous and everything, but I went there, and I remember, the first thing the Dennis did was he put me in the ring, yeah, with one of the boys. I think it was like a schoolboy champion or something, yeah. And obviously, I got battered, yeah. Well, not battered, but well, yeah, I got a good hiding from him, yeah. And I remember, I remember thinking, like, on the way home, we were driving through the Tempe Moors, and I was thinking, oh, Dad, I don't want to do this. Yeah, this is like, I feel like this is dangerous. I got hurt here. And my dad was like, no, no, keep on going, son. If you keep on going, you'll be champion one day, and people will respect you and stuff like that. And so obviously the next day, Dennis, he was happy that we turned up, sort of thing, yeah. And and then I just carried on training. And I remember later on in life, Dennis is no longer with us. Yeah, he passed away a long time ago. Yeah, God bless his soul. And I remember asking him, yeah, Dennis, when you put me in the ring, and like the first time I turned up here, and I got a hiding, yeah. You know that if you did that today, or this would be, yeah, but I did this for a reason, I wanted to see if you could take a hiding, yeah, and come back from it. I was ready to work with you then. So it was a bit like, the film Rocky, the trainer, Rocky Balboa's trainer. He had that kind of a mentality, old school mentality, yeah. And but yeah, it was I was there for a long time, and represented the club. When I was with them, I got to the junior ABAs, yeah, Welsh ABAs, yeah, and won a title for them and stuff like that. It was great, yeah, really good. And then obviously after being with them for a few years, I went to other different clubs. I went to the one in Llanrwst, John Noble, then he opened a club there. And then I went to Anglesey, where I was trained by a former professional, Tom Welsh. And oh yeah, I mean that was like the best thing that ever happened to me and my twin brother, because my twin brother at the time, he was boxing as well. Tom Welsh, he just, oh gosh, he instilled discipline and training hard and fight easy sort of thing. Yeah. And yeah, and with that as well, I went to, I think it was one of the first of its kinds. I went to the Durham, East Durham Hoffel Community College. It was like an academy, it was, for people that were doing sports and they could do education. I think my dad saw it. Oh yeah, it was actually on Sky Sports, actually. We were watching Sky Sports, and I think it was Duke McKenzie or one of the commentators, something they spoke about this academy that was happening in the Northeast, yeah, in Durham. And when I finished school, my dad he managed to get me and my twin brother enrolled into it. And yeah, and when I was there, that's where I started to learn the art of boxing, because obviously, as you know, as a fellow Welshman, was probably, when we fight, there's no skill. We just go in there and grit our teeth, sort of thing. But when I was in England, when I went to Durham, I started to learn the sort of technical side of things with boxing, yeah, and yeah, oh, it was great memory. I trained with like guys who turned professional afterwards, and they did well in the pro ranks, like Gary Walcombe, he was British champion. Don Broadsworth, he was Commonwealth champion. Yeah, it was Martin Gething, another one. I think he was IBF Intercontinental champion. Yeah, it was great, man. It was good experience, for a young man like me at that time. Yeah.
Absolutely. Amazing stories. And I love to you describe that because, I really felt like I was there for a moment listening to that. So it's a really good description.
Yeah.
It's good what you say as well about the mental toughness and cultivating that. I mean, I'm one of those people who I think that kids today could do with a bit more of that, to be honest with you. You know what you said there, getting a high
Yeah, I
level.
believe I believe so as well. I think we have gone soft. People are soft today, yeah. And the upbringing I had, with the people I was around in boxing clubs and gyms, on that, I think that's why I'm quite I am a very strong mental person, sort of thing. Yeah, mentally strong person. Yeah, it takes a lot to upset me, sort of thing. Yeah, but again, I learned that from going to different clubs and gyms and stuff like that, and all that when I was doing the amateurs, sort of thing. Yeah, yeah.
Good lesson. It's a good lesson people can take away. And when you were having some of these successes, I mean, you mentioned earlier, before we were recording about coming from quite a small community, or you're in quite a small community now. And I know, obviously, I
Hmm.
know what it's like in Wales, north, south, whatever. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what was the reaction from your community, from your peers, when you were having some of these early successes as an amateur? And you mentioned about balloons, and you mentioned a few things outside the house. I won't go into the pride.
Oh yeah, that it was great. It was great. Whenever I had fights as an amateur, oh gosh, people would support me and stuff like that. Even now, when I box now, sort of thing, they always want to know, oh, what's going on and what's happening and stuff like that. Um, we had one guy, my dad's best friend of Frank Phillipson. Oh gosh, he was like one of my biggest supporters. And whenever I needed like head guards or like needed gloves or something, he was like, oh, he was happy to help out and stuff. Another guy, he was actually Irish, but he lived in the village Martin. Yeah, he was another one. When we lived, when I was living in Sheffield and I was training the Wicker Bank gym with Brendan Ingle and all them. He was helping with like sponsoring for a place for me and my twin brother at the time to live and stuff like that. So it's great, there's a real sense of community sort of thing, and when I don't know if it was the same in your area, but everybody knew each other, and if if I was outside playing or whatnot, my mum had to go somewhere or something like that, I would have like Auntie Helen would look out for me or something like that. We were it's a very nice community, yeah, Pentreboilas is, yeah, and I'm quite proud and happy to be, brought up from there sort of thing, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's good to give that a mention because the people you have around you is very important. So
Mm.
obviously with the pro career side of things as well, because we'll touch on a few things around pro, around semi-pro and everything like this. Talk to us about the decision to turn pro. But basically, I know we're encompassing 16 fights and we've got a few things to talk.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sorry. So sure thing. So when I decided to turn professional, so what I did was, I I was so at the gym in Denby. I went back to the Denby Boxing Club, and Sparrow Harrison. He was good friends with a good professional trainer manager called Chris Senegar. So I went to Bristol at the time. Lived in a place called Bradley Stoke, and I was like training there, training with Lee Haskins and Glenn Catley. I used to spar a lot with Glenn Catley. Really good fighter and stuff like that. But at the time, when I was there, I was with my like girlfriend, and we had a son at the time, and things were like not good between us and sort of thing. Yeah. So the training wasn't that good there. I had to miss training and stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. And then after a few, like I think we were there for like a year or something like that, we went back to North Wales. And then she actually decided, oh, I want to go to London. So we went to London. We went to West London, sorry, and we lived in a place called Staines. And when I was in Staines, I got in touch with a guy called Jim Evans, and he was he trained Michael Sprott, Patrick Mendes, or Mark Douglas, or a lot of Michael Bambua. Jeff McLeish. He trained a lot of good fighters, professional fighters. Yeah. And I went to his gym. I did some training, and he said to me, "Oh yeah, I could help you with a pro career. I could help you and stuff like that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, please, yeah," sort of thing, yeah. I went to his place, yeah, and I started training with him. I made it was a hell of an eye opener. Yeah, it was really good there, and I think we were there. I was there for how long was I there for? For like 4 years or something. Well, with them sort of thing, but training and I turned professional with him with the British Boxing Board of Control and stuff like that. But when I was there, I was. He managed to get me a British Masters title fight. And I fought against a very, very tough guy called Sam Cousins. If anybody ever wants to see a good scrap, Sam Cousins versus Steffan Hughes on YouTube, it was a toe to toe sort of fight. Yeah, but he won the fight. I had a massive cut on my left eye, and obviously the referee had to stop it. Yeah, and it was good. Yeah, it was a hell of a good experience. But one thing I liked about with Jim was he was very honest with me. Yeah, the first thing he kind of said to me was, right, okay, we can do this like two different ways. Yeah, I'm going to be very honest with you, Stefan. And I was like, yeah, yeah. You're not a ticket seller, but you're a good fighter. Yeah, you're very determined, very strong. Yeah, and you're very driven as well with what you're doing and stuff. So we could, I could get you fights, but I'm not gonna lie, they're gonna be hard fights and stuff like that. Me being me, I was like, yeah, I don't care. I'll fight anyway. I'm always in the gym. I'm always training and stuff like that. So for my first fight, it was on a Frank Maloney, sorry, Kelly Malone promotion, but he was Frank then, and I fought against a guy called Travis Dickinson. So my introduction was a TKO loss, yeah, by Travis Dickinson, yeah. So yeah, it was good. It was a good experience, and then obviously after that, I had a couple more fights. I think I had about I had about 10 fights with Jim, boxed in Germany, and I won a few fights with him and stuff like that. But you know, behind closed doors and stuff like that, things were not good with me and my ex-wife, sort of thing. She was my girlfriend then. We were like arguing, and she was, she was like, she was always like not happy with me training, and she was going out always and stuff like that. So it was quite a crazy period in my life, yeah, sort of thing, yeah, when I was in London, yeah. So, but yeah, man, I'm very grateful for going down there and meeting him and training with him and stuff like that, yeah, yeah,
Absolutely, yeah. Some good
yeah.
stories, some good guys you mentioned there as well. I know the Santa guys you mentioned, and Chris and Jamie and those guys and Glenn,
Oh
good guys.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, I mean, it does show both sides of it because obviously, you were in some great fights. Obviously, being on the road, it is a struggle as well. I mean, there's no two ways about it and everything. But um, when I speak to people, they often say they're grateful for the opportunity. They went places they never would have gone otherwise. They did things they never would have done otherwise. But
yeah.
yeah, on the road, it's also not easy either. So I respect that as well.
No,
Um,
yeah, yeah. No, it was quite hard. Yeah, but the thing was, I was always determined there. I'm very determined there. Whenever, like for my last fight, I fought against, well, before I went, before I did my comeback. I fought against a really tough South Walian, Justin Hugh, and I Casino with Newport. I think I boxed in Newport. Yeah, I boxed him in Newport. Yeah, and again, it was hard on the road there because you always had to be in shape. You never knew when the phone call would ring or when the fight was offered. But I always kept myself in shape, yeah, and I was always, if I wasn't lifting weights, I was running, and if I wasn't running, I was in the boxing gym. I was doing something, yeah, or to keep myself in shape and stuff like that. But no, it was good, man. I really enjoyed my time when I was down there. It was a hell of an eye opener, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. And then obviously, after pro, you took the decision to go semi-pro and go down that road as well. What was the inspiration behind making that decision and deciding to give that a go? Because I know you fought some of the best guys there as well, which we'll about.
Yeah. So I tell you what happened there. So I think it was after the Justin Hugh fight. So after the Justin Hugh fight, so my problem was, yeah, when I fought for the British light heavyweight title, I had a massive scar on my left eye. And what was the problem? Yeah, every time I was fighting, that it was always opening, yeah, and I was getting TKO losses because of my eye being opened and stuff. Yeah. And I'm trying to think that the doctor on the, what do you call it, on the Justin Hugh fight, he kind of said to me, yeah, that oh, you're not going to be able to fight again. And he was like a British Boxing Board of Control official, yeah, and he basically kind of said to me, yeah, that I think you can't do it anymore now. Yeah, it's your eye has split open, and it's always open in your last three fights. I fought against a very tough Albanian in York Oberthorpe. Again, the fight got stopped because of an eye. Fought against Joe Smythe, again, another good fighter. The eye opened with that. It was just always opening, yeah. And then basically they kind of said to me, I can't box professional, so they kind of stopped my license, sort of thing. Yeah, I couldn't box anymore. Yeah, So I kind of went on the downward spiral because at the same time when this was happening, things were like very bad with my with my girlfriend, well, my now ex-wife at the time. She was, I don't, she was always like going out clubbing and stuff like that with her friends. I was home with the kid, it was just my eldest son at the time, sort of thing, and it was a very toxic relationship, yeah, and it was really bad, yeah, but after the sort of like after I kind of lost my kind of license, I couldn't fight again. I was looking for like another substitute, looking for something else to what to do. But then I kind of went back. Well, I started doing like like strongman competitions and stuff like that, just doing something, yeah, to keep me going, yeah. And at that time as well, I think that was in 2023, was it? Yeah, sorry, 2012, I think, yeah, something like that. I kind of like I stopped boxing. I didn't do any boxing for 10 years. Basically, I stopped doing it. Yeah, I got sick with the sport. I was angry, and and my marriage was ruined, and everything was just it was bad. Yeah, everything was just going downhill with me. Yeah, and at the time, I was I was a born again Christian then, although I'm wrong to do it, yeah, but I was angry with God. I was thinking, why is this happening to me and stuff like that. But I was always asking for forgiveness because He allows these things to happen because He knows what the end result will be. So obviously, everything I was going through, something good was going to come out of it. Yeah, that's one thing I've sort of realized by reading the Bible. Whenever there's chaos, something good comes out of it. Yeah, and then it was actually my twin brother in 2023. Was it? Was it in 2023? Yeah, in 2020. No, sorry, in 2021. Sorry, just before like when COVID was like kind of finishing, sort of thing. Like when the lockdown was lifted and stuff like that. He basically said to me, "Hey, Stefan, you could see I was like on my way down. Yeah, you could see I was like not myself and all that kind of stuff." And he said to me, "Oh, come on, Stefan, let's go to the gym. Let's do some pads or let's do some training." And then started doing that. And then he kind of said to me, "Oh, come on, Steph, let's try and get some fights and stuff like that." And then obviously, I had like I got in touch with like this Polish guy. He got me like a pro fight in Estonia, and I won that by first round. And I started boxing again, and when I was starting boxing again, I found like a new lease of life in me, yeah, sort of thing, yeah, and I've been continuing to do it ever since, yeah, yeah.
Amazing. Amazing how you turned it round, and I got all the respect in the world for that, mate, because,
Oh,
you know,
thanks.
like I said to you before, it's part of the message I wanted to put out with this is, you can hit rock bottom, but then the only way to
Yeah.
go up and touching on the faith. I'm sorry about, hearing about your marriage and everything though, because it's very
No, it's okay. To be honest with you, it was very toxic. Yeah, it was not good. Yeah, but like I said, God, yeah, He brings these things. He allows these things to happen in life to you, and I truly believe He allowed this to happen to me in order for me to get better. Become a better person. Sort of thing, and whatever bad happens to me in life, I always thank God for it. I thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for whatever happens to me in life because He makes me a better and a stronger person as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Oh,
yeah,
amen to that,
yeah.
and I'm on the same page with that 100%. Um, So okay, so with the unlicensed and the semi-pro and all of this side of things,
Oh,
when we were talking about this, setting this up, you sent me a list of guys. You know, you fought some of the best guys. We don't have
yeah.
to we don't have to go through every fight itself, but it will be good to break down a few of those fights in terms of some of your most skilled opponents. I mean, obviously you're fighting a lot of great guys, amateur, pro, all the way through, and
Yeah.
obviously licensed as well in your comeback. Can you share with us some of your best opponents, some of your toughest fights? It doesn't matter if it's like hardest hitters or fastest
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, sure thing. So I'd say uh, one of the best fighters I fought, he had a brilliant left jab on him. It was actually my first, like, so my semi-pro and licensed career has been like on and off sort of thing, yeah. But in 2023, I got back on it like full throttle, yeah. And I fought against a guy called Luke Herdman. Again, he was he's a brother in Christ as well, yeah. And yeah, he fought against Anthony Joshua in the amateurs, and he fought Joe Joyce as well. He had a brilliant, he's got a brilliant left jab on him, and I believe he's still boxing now in the unlicensed circuit. But he's definitely one of the best left jabs guys I fought against. Yeah, another one is Ellie. He was a again. I fought an 8 rounder on the EBO show against him. Um, Again, just brilliant, brilliant fighter. He had a cracking left jab, and everything I did to him, he had an answer for everything. Yeah, like if he were jab, he would be over there. He was good and fast. And he had, John Thaxton. He was in his corner. I used to spar a lot with John Thaxton when I used to live in Sheffield. I was sparred a lot with John Thaxton, Junior Witter, Kel Brook, and Johnny Nelson, and all them. I really it was good to see him. Yeah, he was another one. Another guy I thought was a really good fighter again, Mason Shaw. He does a lot of BKB or BKFB C or something. Yeah, and again he was another good fighter. I mean, he's been in the circuit for a long time. He does bare knuckle and he does glove fights. I'm quite lucky. I'm quite glad that we did it gloved, yeah, because he was good there, really fast, yeah, really professional in his way when he was fighting and stuff like that. Yeah, and uh, yeah, I mean, I fought everyone. Eric Sutton, another guy. Think he's like around Manchester area where I believe he's from. But I fought against him in like a prize fighting sort of tournament. He went on to win it, and again, he was a brilliant, really good fighter, and I'm very surprised that he, didn't turn pro or he's not doing it professionally or something like that, because he's definitely, all of them really good fighters, yeah. Another guy I fought against, very tough, strong, really strong guy, Wayne Morley. He was, I fought it was a UKBC title, and I fought 4 hard rounds with him. Yeah, he's a ex-French Foreign Legion, really good guy as well. He runs a good club, Fighting Fit. So if anybody wants to train with the best, go to Fighting Fit. He's a really good, he's got a good stable at the minute. But yeah, I fought on his show. Him and Pete Stoughton. Yeah, Pete Stoughton. I think he's the president of UKBC, and they always a good organisation to fight on, very professionally run and stuff like that. Um, Another good fighter I fought against on the unlicensed circuit was Lakis Takam, I think his name was, from Slovakia. Again, I'm good friends with him now. Yeah, he was brilliant. Brilliant. He's won multiple Slovakian titles and stuff like that. Really fast as well. But I was like really happy to share the ring with him. He really good boxer. He outboxed me. Lost on points, but it was a good. it was a good fight with him. Yeah, he was definitely skilled. You know, he's from a family. I think they're called Gypsy Strength. So if you want to check out Gypsy Strength on Facebook or YouTube's and stuff, they've got like a Gypsy Strength thing going on. His family is full of boxers. Yeah, he's got a younger brother as well who's just turned professional. Really good guy. He won his fight in Czech Republic not long ago. And Billy Voodoo again. I think he's the nephew of Pete Stoughton. Again, another good fighter. Yeah, I've got a, thinking about it now. I've got a pretty good CV. Yeah, I've got fighters. Yeah, fought against. He was another good one. Good left jab on him. Just couldn't touch him. Yeah, I think my problem is, I'm quite short for the heavyweight division. And most of these guys I'm fighting, you need a step ladder, yeah, so you can reach them and stuff like that. But now it was, it's a lot really. I'm trying to think of if I've left anyone else, although to be honest with you, they've all been hard fights, and stuff like that. There was another guy I fought not long ago. I think on the Mixed Combat Promotions show. What's his Grant Malin? Yeah, again another tall, rangy boxer. He just had my number, outboxed me, sort of thing. Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of people really. Yeah, boxed against a lot of them. Yeah, and I never shy away from a challenge sort of thing. Yeah, but now it's been really good. Yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, fighting against them and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm quite proud of it. Yeah, definitely.
So you should be. So you should be. I mean, I said before, you've been in there with some of the best guys, and you've won some titles along the way. You've done some good things. So the last couple of things, with this, like I say, you've sort of 45 minutes. So as we come to the end of this session, the last couple of things, obviously your future plans, I'd like to touch on as well, because you said that with the semi-pro and license, it's been sort of off and on and all of that, but you are doing some good things. What are your plans from here to continue with that side of things? And also, do you have any plans to train and pass on any of your knowledge to other fighters as well?
So my plans now. So at the minute, I'm still boxing professionally at the minute. Yeah, and I've got a good manager who's getting me fights and stuff like that now. And I'd like to win a professional title. Yeah, if I can. Yeah, that's like my ambition at the minute. I feel like I owe it to my dad because all the years he used to take me and my twin brother up to Denby Moors, when he just finished work, maybe when he was tired and stuff like that, maybe he didn't feel like going and stuff like that. He always, I need to win a professional title before I can, call it a day for my dad, basically. That's my main ambition, yeah, at the minute, yeah. And I would love to sort of like, I would like to sort of like get involved with boxing when I finish, got a lot of experience, I kind of understand now how the pro game works now. It's basically like a business, yeah. So I kind of understand how professional boxing works now, and I'd like to, hopefully get involved with like helping youngsters and stuff like that and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to do that as well, and most probably, when I finish, I'd like to be more involved with my church. Yeah, I love obviously being a Christian. I love doing God's work. I like, I've got a friend. We sometimes go and help feed the homeless and stuff like that. And I love doing all that kind of stuff. Talking to people about Christ, bringing people to Christ and stuff like that. I'd like to get, I'd like to be more involved with that sort of work as well. Yeah. So yeah, man. The world's my oyster. Yeah, is that the word? Yeah, I mean, I'll do anything. Yeah, but I'd like to sort of like tell people, like that, when people feel down and out, because obviously with things that I've been going through with my ex-wife and stuff like that, and there's always hope, sort of thing. Yeah. And in my case, the Bible sort of helped me through all these difficult times and stuff like that. And it kind of made me realize that what's going on for me at the minute. God is allowing these things to happen to me because He knows the end result of. So I don't mind suffering for a bit. So especially with what He went through for me on the cross and stuff like that. So it's it's good there. It's really good there. I just want to help people, yeah, and and help my local church, yeah, sort of thing, yeah. And I love doing it, yeah. Could talk about it all day, actually, yeah. But I need to stop, yeah.
No, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And it's really good advice as well for people who are going through that type of tough time as well, because you need to believe in something bigger than yourself. And I'll put it that way for people, maybe some people listening who are just coming into that awareness, but you need to believe in something bigger than yourself, because there's a lot of things in life that we try and solve it all ourselves. We try and take it all on our shoulders. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and it's bigger than us. A plan is bigger than us, and it doesn't make sense when you're going through it. But when you look back on it, you think actually, this happened for a reason. And they say hindsight is 2020. In other words, you look back on it
Yeah,
and it's razor sharp when you look back on it and in clarity, and right, this is why this happened to me. But at the time, so I love the message, absolutely love the message. And as we wrap this up, I'm also going to say to our audience, please join in with what this amazing individual that's you is doing, with your work with boxing, with your work with Christ and your church, with everything, because I know you said earlier that you're sort of developing with social media, but the messages you put out there are really, really good. So I'm going to say to our audience, please join in with what this man is doing. And Champ, thank you so much for not only for making time, but for being an open book today and sharing some of the highs and lows of your life. I appreciate that.
sure thing. I just want to say to you as well, thanks for having me on this great platform here. Thank you for inviting me and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it, yeah. And hopefully I'll speak with you again soon, yeah.
Absolutely, we will. We'll talk soon. I'll send you this when I release it, because I'll release this on YouTube and everything next week, and I'll be pushing it out there. So I'll send it to you when it's ready. And obviously you can have it then to share anywhere that you like. And I just hope it gives you a boost. I hope it gives you more exposure and everything in the meantime. And it brings more people to your message. And then, but yeah, from there we'll keep in touch anytime. I mean, like I
Yeah,
say, I've
definitely.
really enjoyed it
Yeah,
as well. Done a
yeah,
great job.
definitely. Well, thank you very much, and God bless to you. Yeah.
God bless to you as well.
Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the Simply Inspired YouTube channel, and there'll be more videos coming soon.